Is the intro playing?
I'm going to play it now because I didn't play it.
Oh.
I guess we're live. Welcome to Live Palace News. I'm Patrick, joined by Lou and AJ today to talk about today's press conference news. Lou, how are you today?
The Prince is back.
AJ, how are you today?
The uncle of all uncles is here and live.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about the news that Oliver Glasner talked about during the press conference. So we'll take your questions also. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Please put a Q next to it, and we will be sure to answer as many as we can. So there's the press conference notes there. So basically, the manager confirmed today that we will be without Esse, who's been battling an injury since the Arsenal match. And Czech Decore, unfortunately, has a meniscus knee problem. He'll be out for the rest of the season. And Chadi Riyad has a torn ACL. He'll be gone for at least a year, unfortunately. There is some good news, though, thankfully, and this will really make Lou very happy. Adam Wharton and Matthias Franca are both back in the matchday squad. So we'll start with you, Lou. Your thoughts on the injury update news?
Yeah, he didn't just say Wharton's back. He said Wharton's come back even stronger. So for the super serum or so, I don't know what's going on. His groin's back in full effect. Yeah, man, it's just such a boost to have him back. It kind of just it softens the blow of Decore going, because if I'm being honest, I feel like Wharton's much more important than Decore at this moment in time. If we can get him back fully fit and we can make a few additions, we can have a real push to the end of the season, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. AJ, what about you? What are your thoughts on the injury news, the good news and the bad news?
It's really sad, to be fair, in terms of the Decore and Riyadh stuff. Gutted for Esse as well. I feel like, I just don't think we're destined to have a fully strength squad. At least for the foreseeable, to be fair. But you know what? It's really, really good news. We weren't really sure about how soon we were going to get Wharton back. I know there was a bit of a rumor that he might have potentially been delayed in his injury, and then I did know that there was the France one a while back as well. Surprising and uplifting, to be fair. I agree with Louis. I think Wharton is very, very important to what we got in terms of the team. And I think with the France situation, it's quite ideal with Esse being out of the team, because we can potentially have a few options with Esse as well as Franca. Maybe it'll be a good time for the manager to sort of try one of the two and see where we can potentially go with it. It's also interesting as well, because me, myself, I'm guilty of it. Have been complaining about Esse performances recently as well. So we'll just have to see how we get on without him.
Yeah, I actually want to let's just start with the Esse situation. I think people, and I know Lou and I have had a lot of discussions in our play ratings about Esse's performances, and I think the manager mentioned that it does go back to the pre-Arsenal. I guess that would be the League Cup match where he didn't play, right? He didn't play in the League Cup, or did he?
No, he played in the League Cup. He played in the League Cup, and he got a knock.
Right. So I think a lot of the poor form can be put down to the fact that he just hasn't been 100% fit. I mean, I know a lot of people getting on him about how he's played, but even though he hasn't been fit, he's had goals, he's had assists. So what impact do you think, I'll start with you, AJ, what impact do you think will have not having Esse for potentially Man United and maybe probably Doncaster also? Because I think the manager mentioned he wants to give maybe 5-6 days without boots on, etc. That should help him heal up. But what do you think will happen as far as Saturday and maybe Sunday, and Doncaster the following Monday?
Well, it's an interesting one, to be fair. I guess it's a case of just seeing what alternative creative players we have in the team, because in his absence, somebody else will have to step up. I sort of go back to thinking about the days when we never had Zaha, and it was almost like a case of we are pretty much done out here without him.
Right.
But I think it gives an opportunity for the younger players. France still technically falls under that category. I guess you have to sort of look at what Esse can do as well. Is he potentially ready for a start? That's neither here or there. Obviously, only the manager is going to know the answer to that. But also, it potentially gives an opportunity for Kamada to potentially get himself a starting berth, and where he has been improving on performances recently, does he have it take to be the go-to guy? This is a really good opportunity for somebody to step up and put themselves in the limelight in his absence.
I'm not gonna lie. See, Twisted, I know you're trying to wind me up with this comment about Eze being lazy bum. I know you're winding me up, and this is also a massive blessing. I can't believe a Palace fan can be that serious about not wanting Eze to play. But Lou,
he's doing too much there. He's doing too much.
Too much.
Those comments, they're either trolling or they just make you look stupid. So you can carry on messaging those things. You just look silly. I've been critical of Eze. I'm one of Eze's biggest fans. Even though he's been playing with an injury, playing with a knock, he's helped us gain quite a few points. But I haven't been too happy with his performances all round. So I'm hoping we may get a player that may give us a better all-round performance, but they probably won't give us the magic that he could do. But that just means that another player might have to step up. We might be a bit. I think Glasner could go with like the Devenny type to replace him, how he sat up against Villa, or does he go for the Kamada type? Again, it gives us a little bit of less predictable of what we're going to do. So yeah, I'm excited to see. He won't play against Doncaster, I don't think. He's really needed to play against Doncaster. So it gives him 3 weeks to improve his fitness.
So Michael got a good question here. So Kamada and Sarr in the 10 for me. The funny thing, we actually have options. You mentioned Devenny, Lou. We also have obviously Kamada, Nketiah, and Esse. We actually have 4 options, which is kind of mad. And Looney, I get you're not a big Eze fan, but I rate him, and he's been inconsistent. But again, I just mentioned to you, I think it's more injury than he's been off form. But we can have the debate another time. But so AJ, ideally, I totally forgot about Nketiah. Who would you start on Sunday on the left side? Would it be Devenny, Esse?
I've liked a lot of what Devenny's had to offer this season, to be fair. I feel like he doesn't look out of place in the team. And against Man United, he could potentially do a madness. You never know. Nah, man, I'd actually give Devenny the start, to be fair, and then potentially give a chance for Eze, possibly Franca later on in the game, because with these players returning from injury, you're never really going to know how ready they are. And I think it'd be very naive to start the two of them. Esse would potentially, in my eyes, have a better chance because now he's had a full sort of week and a half's training with the team, and he does look very, very comfortable on the ball, and he looks like he's got a bag of energy. But hand on heart, I do like the idea of Devenny. He's started games before, and I feel like he's done really, really brilliant. He looks like he's been in the squad for years. So that would be my choice.
In lieu of the fact that we don't have any central midfield cover, Lou, who do you start then? Is it just obviously have to be Hughes and Lerma? Would you play Hughes and Kamada?
It's a very hard one. There's a possibility he could go for extra legs in midfield due to Man United being sceptical to a transitional game. They press high. Devenny could be used as a workhorse against Man United's 2 midfields to allow more space. It depends how Glasner wants to go. Does he want to be more adventurous? Does he want more creativity? I think it's a really tough call. I actually quite stumped on what he does. I feel like someone like Nketiah will probably be like, how can he not pick me? I should be next in line.
Exactly. Exactly.
Could he change the formation? I don't know. Could he go? Yeah, could he change the formation? I don't know. I definitely think he's got a plan. I don't think it was by accident that there was no training videos this week and we were quite quiet after the Brentford. I think he goes back to basics. He gets the players focused. I think he would have watched the game against Bucharest and the Fulham one, like with extreme intensity every night, probably figuring out a way. But like he said, he spoke how he went toe to toe with Amorim before at Frankfurt, and Amorim beat him 3-0, and he beat him 2-1.
2-1.
And
they mentioned that.
And they both played 3-4-3, and he said in these type of games it'll be one or two, 1, 2, 3 moments in the game because you can cancel each other out. So yeah, it'll be a very tactical game on Sunday. I think probably the team that covers more ground and wins a lot of the second balls in transition will be the team that comes out on top.
Do you know, it's quite interesting actually, because the one thing I love about Glasner is he's not going to set up to draw this game. He's not going to set up to sit there and wait for the ball to come. He's going to set up to win. Like, that's one thing I absolutely adore about his management style. He is literally going to go into this situation and he is going to plan all week to go to Old Trafford and take back 3 points. That man does not play for a draw. He doesn't sit back. He doesn't just take a little 1-0 loss and, we'll move on to next week. Whatever tactical system he does to go to side with, I'll just back him 100% because I know for a fact he will drum into those players that he wants a result out of them. I'm not going to sit there and think, he's going to play for a draw, or Man United might score one and then all of a sudden we're just going to sit back and hopefully just hold that 1-0 loss. He is going to go into that game expecting a victory, no matter how he sets up. So that's one thing I've got to admit I'm going to love about, the whole game on Sunday. It'll be very interesting how that plays out.
I want to pivot to the Wharton and Franca parts. So he said, with regards to Wharton, who underwent surgery on a recurring groin injury in November and has been absent since then, Glasner smiled. We've given him a little bit longer. It's a great work week for my rehab staff and with him personally. It looks stronger than before. So my thoughts on this is Wharton again hasn't played again in a while. He said, November, and Franca hasn't played all season. Would you risk either of them, Lou, on Sunday?
I would play Wharton. Maybe the last 20 minutes, 10 minutes. I would like them to get, and Franca, I would like them to get a feel for the game. If Glasner's putting them on the bench and the doctors and the physios have said, listen, they're ready to play 10, 20 minutes, then I would give them those minutes. Minutes in the legs mean a lot. Next game is Doncaster. You could probably play them a little bit longer if the game's won, or do you know what I mean? Wharton is so key. I thought we need to do everything to get him up to speed. But I also think he's such a technically gifted player. It will come natural to him. I don't think he's one of those players that takes 4 or 5 games to get into his rhythm.
So with the Franca thing, AJ, I know he being Glasner did say he wanted to get him some under 21 minutes and he hasn't gotten those. So I feel that the Esse injury has kind of forced him to kind of mention Franca. So would you give Franca minutes on Sunday, AJ?
I'd give him minutes, but he ain't starting. Unless obviously the manager's seen something in training.
Definitely can't start. Yeah,
I think
start for sure, yeah.
The best protocol and where the fixtures kind of play to his favour is it's going to have to be a thing where you might have to bring him on for 10 or 15 just to get him, back into the sort of cycle of things, because that boy has not played football for a very, very long time. And then I think it's going to have to be a situation where we kind of look at maybe bringing them on a little bit earlier against Doncaster. I probably wouldn't even start him against Doncaster either. I would probably go on record to say maybe bring him on for 10, 15 minutes on Sunday, and then the Doncaster game, maybe bring on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes then. Obviously, depending on how the game's going as well. I just don't want to go down the risk of rushing him. I actually also feel the same about Adam Wharton as well. I know he is such a talisman for us and how creative he can be, but I would go down the same route with him. He's come back from a big injury. He did have quite a busy summer. Granted, he never really played in the Euros, but he was still away with the England team, training every day. He never got that proper rest either. So I think we have to, as much as we're excited and are quite keen to see these guys do stuff, we have to be quite smart and box a little bit clever here and give them a chance to get themselves reintegrated into the team and just get themselves back used to being on the pitch before we start having high expectations of them. A 6 out of 10 will do me for both of them.
I don't think anyone expects them to start. Everyone in the chat, apart from Twisted, but he normally says crazy stuff anyway. But everyone else is saying that they wouldn't start him. None of us think that he should start. We just think minutes in the legs are important. Glasner also said in his press conference how they had a really intense training week, and
right.
I think Glasner's intense. When he says that it's intense, I think that's going to really test their fitness. Nothing can emulate a Premier League game, but if he's got through 1 week full of completely intense training, then they're ready for 10, 15 minutes.
I want to throw up this question here because I think it's a good one from Andy McDonald. Thanks, Andy, for the input. Is Devenny a 10 or a 6? Where is he better? I feel he looked good playing both. I've seen him a lot in the 21s, Andy. To me, he's a 10. He's not a 6. But he's a 10 in a different system. I don't know if he's a wide 10. I think he plays better behind a striker, which is what they played before Glasner came last year. The 21s played like a 4-2-3-1, which is what Palace played in the first team. He played well in that. So that's my opinion. Have you guys seen a lot of Devenny outside of the first team? Have any thoughts on a 10 or a 6 for him?
I kind of think he reminds me a bit of not as good, obviously, he's established, but like a McTominay type style player that has played a 6, an 8, or a 10. He obviously has an eye for a goal. Really, really good off the ball, good in tackles. Can probably trust him to get a 6 and a 7 out of 10 each week. Won't get the ball and flip flap and dubs 2 man and slap it to the top corner, but he'll do the right things at the right time, and he's a lot of the time will be a manager's dream, hence why he has broken into the team and he's given a solid performance every time he comes along. So I'd say, like a McTominay style, a 6, 8, 10 hybrid. Jack of all trades, not really a master of any of the positions.
You, AJ?
You know what's insane? I was literally thinking the exact same thing. He does remind me of McTominay. He does potentially get a goal when he needs to. He's not afraid to come up front, take a couple shots. He ain't scared to get stuck into tackles as well. 10, 6. I'll be honest, I haven't seen thousands would be a bit extreme, but I haven't seen tons and tons of games where he's played at the younger levels. I've seen a couple highlights and stuff, and I know he's definitely got quality there. With the kind of attacking options we got in the team, I would prefer him to be more in the 6 because I feel like when he needs to, he can push up and potentially create an attacking threat if needed. But I feel like his threat is definitely from outside the box rather than in it. So for me, more of a central midfielder / maybe defensive midfielder. But then what will potentially happen in time, depending on how things play out with the team, and obviously as time goes on, I reckon he'll probably be more set to 1 or maybe only 2 positions in the team. That's just naturally a thing when young players break into a first team and sort of strengthen the key attributes that he has.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he can play. He's not mature enough yet to play in a double pivot 6 in the Premier League.
Right.
He's not comfortable enough with this back to goal. That's one thing you really have to be confident in doing. You have to be able to receive the ball in your own half, in your own third, with an opposing centre midfielder or striker right behind you, and comfortably be able to play it left or right. We even see people like Lerma, who are the established Premier League players, who struggle with that. And that's why we're so good when Wharton's on, because he is press resistant. And when you're playing in a double pivot, especially in this formation, there's such a big job in transitioning the ball through the thirds. And I don't think he's ready for that, or he's got the quality to do that yet. But I definitely think if you're getting him in the middle third and the final third, it's less risk for him on the ball. So I think that's the type of positions we want to get him in.
I'm going to put up Glasner's comment about, you mentioned before, Lou, about Esse. I think it's kind of pertinent at this time. So he said, Esse didn't want in training. He said, let's stay calm. he was in the right moment, in the right position. Talking about the goal, obviously, and the right finish against Brentford. And he did well. He had a good influence, and he's doing really well in training. He gets a lot of information now on how he wants to play. I could see him quite often having his hands on his knees because he was exhausted in training. At a very high intensity this week, and he has to get used to it. So, like you said in our chat, Lou, it's not Millwall, right?
Yeah, he's breathing like a dog, man. It's like it's them rondos and them 5-a-sides and them 7-a-sides. He's playing against seasoned international players. Yeah, it's just a whole different level of intensity. The demands. If you've ever played football and like you've gone from maybe a youth team and trained. I remember when I've transitioned from like a youth team set up in non-league and gone to a first team training. It's just a whole new level. Like the demands in training. The standards, everything. So he will have to be treating training like a game every day.
Yeah, I think that's the key to both Devenny's development, Esse's development. They're not used to this top level. Even Franca for some, because France hasn't played that much, obviously. So, and I think that having Glasner as the manager is perfect. He'll bring them on the right way. He won't throw Esse in, because I can tell you right now, give us 12 months ago and Eze's out and Esse has just been signed. Hodgson's going to start him on. He's starting him against Man United. He just is. You know what I mean? He's a new player. He just throw him in there. Having said that, he didn't play France a lot. So maybe I'll take that back. He actually didn't play France a lot. But you know what I'm saying? He's going to just put him out there. He's not going to, bring him on slowly like you were just saying. So I think having a manager like Glass is really helpful. He's going to bring him on slowly. And I like that. But AJ, what are your thoughts on Esse's development and what, as far as like what you do with him, like going forward the next few matches? We've got Doncaster, maybe a chance for him to start. But that aside, what do you think about his development?
I'm delighted for him for getting his goal, and I feel like the criticism he got was, I guess, unjust. Is pretty much on the money for that. I just don't want to get too carried away. I think the manager should continue to just build him into the first team and sort of get used to it. Because remember, he's young. He's going to want to impress. He's going to want to follow that up. I think even just his response in terms of what he did on social media in relation to the criticism he got for the goal, I feel like he's still going to naturally have that young mind and really adjust into that level up. At Millwall, he probably would have had that little bit of opportunity to kind of make the odd mistake because he has so much quality. Whereas at Premier League level and at Crystal Palace, he's going to be under a bit more scrutiny than he would have been beforehand. He's going to be on a lot more eyes. I just don't want to rush him into things I'm glad that the manager's saying the right things about him. And I've seen the training clips, I've seen the photos and all the rest of it. And he looks like he's really excited and really wants to be here and he wants to build on that goal he got. But I don't want to put too much pressure on the guy. I just want him to, slowly integrate himself into the first team. And then when he does get those opportunities, make the most of them like he did on his debut.
Yeah.
I see that comment from Monty saying he has to start against Doncaster. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. We want to get through to the next round. The team that Glasner puts out that gets us through is the most important team. If he's not up to scratch in training, you don't just throw him in because he's playing against Doncaster. That's my fault. I thought the FA Cup is really important.
Yeah. Lastly, again, if you guys have any questions, put a Q next to it, Q and a dot, and I'll try and get to them. I haven't seen many, but if I've missed any, I apologize. The thing I talk about the least is the transfer window, which we know closes on Monday. So obviously, we all know we need a left wing back. Glasser's quote today was, "We're looking to bring in." If I say it wrong, correct me, Lou or AJ. One more, is that correct? Is that you guys feel he said one more, right?
He said ideally we're going to bring in two and we're close to sealing a deal for the left wing back, basically.
So the two means Esse plus one, is that correct?
Yeah, but he said ideally they want the third for the centre back up. But like we've discussed previously, if you go out in the public and say we really need a centre back, all of a sudden every centre back's £5 million more.
So AJ, what are your thoughts on potentially getting somebody one or two in by Monday or on Monday, actually, which is probably going to happen on Monday?
Historically, I don't have too much faith. I think at this point, if we just get the bloody left back, then I think it would just be more of a relief with a deep sigh. That's how I'm feeling about it. It's just one of the things where it's like, God, finally, it's done, sort of thing. We know the names of players that we have been linked with and who we ideally want, but I'm the kind of person where until I see the shirt and I see man holding up everything, I'm not entertaining it. To be fair, I am just sort of sitting there refreshing Twitter and hoping for something to happen, but I'll be honest, it doesn't look like that's the case. So either they are up to something in the background and are going to drop some lovely surprises on us over the weekend, which I'm having high doubts about, or we're going to fluff it. But I think we can at least get the left back. Surely we need the wing back cover. Getting another centre back would be ideal, but then I guess the question I have is what centre backs are out there. I'm sure there must be someone available out there that can potentially come into the team and wants to showcase themselves in the Premier League, but we've not really been linked with anybody. But then at the same time, that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes you do get the odd surprise signing out of anywhere, but I'm not going to get drawn into speculation about players that don't even look like they've been remotely coming. We haven't heard anything or had a sniff for a good few weeks. So I'm just going to have to sit this one out, and I'll celebrate when I see the players wearing the shirt or holding up the shirt and doing the whole press conference with Doogie Freeman in the background and some really cheesy Twitter announcement. That's when I'll be making comment on it.
All right. So before I get to you, Lou, and I think Dee's here. I don't know if he's just ghosting. I don't know what he's doing in the background, but he'll pop on if he wants to.
Yes.
Oh, you are here. Hello, boss. How are you?
I can't put the camera on.
Why, you're in the gym?
Yeah, Jim.
Nah. I'm just not at home.
You want to add anything then before I want to talk about this a little bit about transfer? You want to throw anything in there? You want to throw anything out there you want to talk about?
Yeah, we have to sign a left wing back. We have to. There's no ifs and buts. Why are you laughing, Patrick? Did I say something wrong?
You're stating the being obvious. We all know that. We all know. We get that. We all four of us on this stream and everyone in the chat knows.
But what's the consequences if we don't sign one?
It's not.
We don't sign one.
We don't.
No. There needs to be consequences to it.
What do you think this is?
What do you mean?
What do you want to do? Protest outside Sainsbury's?
Protest outside Sainsbury's. No, but like all jokes aside, it's not good enough if we don't sign one. It's not.
Yeah, but we all know that. We all know that.
Yeah, but we know that. By the way, we can't let it go.
D, 1 second. By the way, everybody that's watching the show, this is our group chat every single day. What you're listening to right now about left wing back. It's not good enough from D. Me and Lou trying to be, we get it, but it is what it is. This is every single day. So D, continue. Go ahead. Give him a little peek.
Yeah, because I've been waiting. Well, we can argue that we've been waiting for a left back for 4 years. We'll wait for a right back for 5 years. Or even 5 years. So I don't want. How many more years do you have to wait to sign?
By the way, didn't D shout me down about 10 streams in a row about getting back up for Munoz, saying, "Oh no, it'll be all right." But now you want left wing back.
That's different.
Oh, it's different. It's different, is it?
Because we do technically, if Glasner wanted to, he could use Kapora there. Who can Glasner use as left wing back? Kapora is actually featured for the first team. He's featured as a left back. Yeah, but are you like what? I haven't got any words because the stream's gonna get shut down if I reply. Like, schlup, are you taking a piss?
I got one. You ready? I got one. Teo Adamarola.
He couldn't get into Stockport.
You asked for a name. I gave you a name. I mean, come on.
You might as well include me in this list then.
You can't.
No, we've all seen you play, man.
Yeah, D, we want somebody good that can actually kick the ball, control the ball.
You have to remember, all of you are Uncle Status. So I can't throw none of you lot in. I can't throw none of you lot in the name. If fans are looking for a youth player, I can still step in. But if we're looking for, I don't know, like a Kevin Doyle, then one of you lot can step in. But no, like we need a left wing back. I'm sorry, there's no ifs and buts. We need one, and they have to deliver it.
He said in Patrick, can you get the quote up? Because
I'll look for it. Yeah, I can find it. I'll look for it. Yeah.
Because he did say that it was it should be done and dusted.
Who said that? Glasner? Oh, he's very confident. Yeah. He said he's very confident about one signing. No, in Palace, that'll be centre back. But even if we do sign one now,
no,
even
because he
if
said
we do sign
after
one
that
now,
he was no. Don't say that, because he said after that, if a centre back option comes up, we will look at that. He was talking about.
Okay, cool. I didn't listen to his press conference. I saw the.
Oh, so do you not do? So you're coming on here with a lack of knowledge and research.
What do you mean lack of knowledge? I saw the quotes. Okay, so I'm coming in based on the quotes.
You're coming with your fake news.
Fake news. Wow. No, but I like. That's good. Even if we do someone now, what do you lot think about the timing of it? I know, Lou, you don't care because you're just like, oh, we signed.
It's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's that I can't control it. Like this is when business gets done.
All right, but no one's asking you to control it. I'm asking for your opinion on the timing. Are you happy or you not?
I'm not happy, but I'm not sad.
Anyone else? AJ, you're a real one, man. You're a real one when it comes down to this. Yeah, you're on the right side of history. You want to be on the right side of history. You can speak up, man.
He's taking my quotes now.
I've already listened. I've got my own Palace reform party going on. Don't worry about me. But at the end of the day,
at the end of the day, you and Twisted are together. See that's the side of history you're on.
Well, Twisted, I don't know if me and Twisted agree on a lot of things. Because Twisted, he does say some wild things, but like,
I don't know. Maybe being Twisted is the same person.
If we do want to progress as a football club, these are like rookie mistakes, guys. I'll be honest. Like I've tried to be as patient as possible, but not having a wing back or fullback option for 5 years in both sides before Munoz came in, it is ridiculous. Like 5 years is a long time. When you compare us to other clubs, Lou. That's what you always do, right? You compare us to other clubs.
Yeah, because I was about to say you can copy and paste this argument for Arsenal and a striker. It's just more fans.
Okay, that's awesome. But compare us to other clubs like Fulham and the Bournemouths, etc., who do have the depth options. Of course, they don't need to go and sign a player early in the window because they don't need two left backs because they got Ryan Sessegnon and they got Robinson. You know if compare us to clubs in and around us. Arsenal are not a serious football club. I've always said this. They're not a serious.
What about Everton? Everton are much bigger.
They're still second.
Everton and West Ham are bigger clubs.
Hold on. Hang on. What has Ryan Sessegnon done since he signed for Fulham?
And they spent 65 million on Anderson and Smith Rowe.
It's not about that. He's still an option. If Mitchell, you know how lucky we are that Mitchell ain't injury prone. I honestly, our luck is beyond ridiculous that he ain't injury prone. Because one injury to Mitchell and we're done for. We are done for. And why are we in this situation in the first place? Why are we playing these risky games? If we do truly want to be a top 10 club, can a top 10 club operate like we are right now? You tell me.
We did come top 10 last season.
Yeah, we did. With Glazer coming in and winning like a lot of games. But you can see it this season, though. How comes we're struggling this season, Lou?
Wharton injured.
Because Elise went. Anderson went. No, because we didn't strengthen in the positions that we needed to. That's why we brought in another number 10.
Anderson
That's why we
went.
do need a left wing back.
No, don't use that. You can say Elise all day. Do not say Anderson went. That's not a reason. You can might say Jordan Ayew left too then. Are you joking?
Jordan Ayew matters more. Yeah, Jordan Ayew.
I'm not gonna lie. If we had Jordan Ayew, we probably would have had a few more points.
No. Exactly. You have a point there. You do have a point there. You do have a point there. Let's forget about Anderson because I think we upgraded on Anderson, and I said this from the get-go, so I'm not gonna pretend that I really cared about Anderson leaving. But Jordan Ayew left, which I'm not taking serious because I think Sarr was a good replacement. But with Elise, I mean, we done it wrong. But forget about that. The left wing back position, we knew that we needed to strengthen in the summer, and we didn't.
Okay, let me just say this.
If we want to operate as a serious football club, we need to there's key weaknesses. You look at when we face the likes of Fulham and the Bournemouths and all the other teams that we face. They always have players coming off the bench, like proper players coming off the bench, and you're like, let's look at our bench. You got Jeffrey Schlupp. He's gonna come on as a number 10. That's what we had for the majority of the season. Is Schlupp coming on as a number 10? Who's coming on in midfield? Who's coming on in defence? Who's coming on the left wing back if Mitchell gets injured? Or right wing back? We can use that argument. Maybe Corpora. But like our bench is significantly weaker than other teams. And if we want to be a top 10 club, we need to change that.
Yeah, but I'm saying everything you say is stating the obvious. There's no breakthrough things you're saying.
So why don't you agree with it? Why don't you agree with it? That's what I don't know.
I've never disagreed with it.
Yeah, but you're very calm about it. You're like, it's fine.
No,
like,
but the
what can we do
reality of the
about it?
situation,
He hates
the
the
reality of the
calmness, Louis. He
situation
hates
is,
being calm. He hates
What?
do you know,
that.
it's
No,
the reality of the
no.
situation is
I'm calm.
like Louis said, is he can't control it. Like, we can't control it. We can moan and complain about it, like maybe once or twice, and then after that, you just got to kind of suck it a little bit. You know
Well,
what I
it
mean?
needs to
And
be
just
called out
deal
on.
with it.
It needs to be called out on. That's the thing. We're all fans here, right? It needs to be called out on. That it's not good
But
enough.
what-
If we continue like this, you know, we're just sleeping on our potential. I think Steve Parish said it in the podcast, and it was a very good podcast that he had with, who was that guy? The two, I forgot. The podcast that he recently was on the other day.
It was a very good PR stunt. I'll give you that.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it
Steve
wasn't. How
Parish
was it a
defenders,
PR stunt? I'm not Steve Parish defender. I've called out Steve Parish on it, but I wouldn't call it a PR stunt. What's a PR stunt about what he done? Coming and talking publicly about what we want to do. I hear where it's coming from, but I don't agree with it. But I wouldn't call it a PR stunt. How can you call it a PR stunt?
Okay. Do you know the definition of what PR stunt is?
Anyway,
okay. Enlighten me.
Obviously, you say
Right.
you say that I'm being calm about stuff, yeah. But I'd rather, if we're gonna have conversations and stuff like that, it's easy for everyone to be like, "Pat, we ain't done this, we ain't done that, we ain't done." But how about we just talk about what we have, what we can do to win games, like, and obviously you're gonna hope for stuff to be done. But at the end of the day, we'll end up just being another channel moaning about every single thing about our club.
Yeah, I hear it. But I just want us to change our ways. That's.
But so do I.
At this window in particular. Yeah, but you're not calling it out. That's what I'm saying.
I don't need to. It's obvious. It's like the sky is saying the
not
sky is blue.
No. Yeah, no, but we said this until the banners came out about Steve Parish, and then afterwards, you know, a few months later, Roy Hodgson gets sacked and Oliver Glasner comes in.
That was different.
The club get comfortable in certain positions. They do get comfortable. So if we all relax, look at Tottenham, for example, and how they run. Their fans are all calm about it. You know, oh, it's fine, we can't do anything about it. But I'm not saying like Parish out, everyone out right now. Like that's not the conversation here. But the conversation is we need to hold them to account for some of the businesses that we've done. I love Dougie Friedman. I think I love Dougie Friedman more than Patrick does, because Patrick, you know, says that he misses some of them. But I think that's very harsh to say that. He does, but he has way more hits than misses. I don't like the miss. Everyone misses.
No. Just to be clear to our fan base listening, I'm not anti-Dougie. I'm just saying you act like Dougie always hits. He gets a lot of things right, but he's gotten some big ones wrong, and that's fine because But as a club, we can't afford sometimes for Dougie to miss, and he does. But does he do a great job? 100%. He's great for Palace, but he does miss sometimes. All I'm trying to say is that you act like he's perfect, and he's not. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
By the way, everyone's saying, so if some people said if you don't speak out, no one knows, mate. There's enough thousands of Palace fans speaking out for me to add my 2 pence in.
Exactly.
We've got people
but why don't you add your 2 pence in?
Because I've got more constructive things to say about football.
Like what though? What's constructive about this situation that you can say about the left wing back situation about the 4 or 5 years?
That didn't make sense, D. That didn't make sense.
How?
How
didn't it make sense? How didn't it make
I'm saying
sense?
that what you said didn't make sense.
How? What can you say that's constructive about what's happened in the last 4 to 5 years in that particular position?
No, I'm talking about constructive things about Glasner's press conference and what he has to say about the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, but that's a different topic, though. That's not the same topic.
No, that's a saying. I don't need to always talk about what we need because I know what we need. We need a new left wing back. We need Munoz back up. We need centre back up. We need to replace Decore. We need to do all these things. We need more investment. We need a new stand. Yes, I know that, but there's only so many times I can keep saying it over and over again.
Yeah. But there's only so many times that we can do this. But look, I think it'll be ridiculous for us to not sign a left wing back. So I think we'll sign one, and then after we sign one, I'll be honest, I'm not really hopeful about centre back. I don't. Yeah,
but
I don't know
wait, D. I agree in centre back, but you've made it very clear that if we sign on Monday, you won't be happy. Is that correct? No matter how good that player is that we bring in, left wing back.
What do you rate the window out of 10 if we sign Juff on deadline day for 18 million? What would you give it out of 10?
Yesterday, you know. Yeah,
what would you give it out of 10?
What would I give out of 10?
Solid 8.
I already said I can't give it. No, I can't give it higher than. I can't give it 8 or higher.
Wow.
What would you give it? 7?
Really?
Yeah, at best.
All right, D.
I can't.
Esse, Diouf, and a lone centre back. What does it get? Even if it's done Monday late, like deadline, like the last minute. What do you
For me, it's about the wingback position. And what
No, I understand that. But if we get a centre back too as a added bonus, what would you do? What would you give it? Honestly,
7.5.
AJ,
Twisted. Your every comment you give is like a 1 out of 10.
Listen, let me be honest, right?
So get on to Twisted.
Sorry, man. Today's the day, man.
Well, 2 out of 10.
AJ,
2 out of 10.
AJ.
Right.
I'm asking everybody. AJ, Monday.
It'll probably be close if for me.
A wing back and a centre back on loan. What you giving it out of 10?
I'll give it a 9.
Thank you.
I'll give it a 9.
Lou, me too. By the way, for centre back.
Juff, that centre back that we got linked with, who's on loan at Porto.
Diallo,
If we got him, Juff and Esse, boy, that's a 9.5 to me.
Yeah, fair enough. In the chat, can you drop that? If you drop that in the comments in the chat, please. What would you rate if we get? We've got Esse, we get Juff, and a centre back on loan. And again, it will be last minute Monday. Palace, we get all that. What would you give it out of 10? Serious only, please. Twisted, come on, mate. You can't give me 4 out of 10. You can't. Serious comment only.
4 out of 10 is crazy.
Are you not sure this is him and D? Are you not sure him and D are not the same person? Because
they're both.
I've never seen them in the same place, innit?
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say.
Here we go. Fair 9s.
There we go.
Easy 8. Here we go. 8 out of 9. There you go. Solid 8. Guy, again, solid 8. I don't know D.
You know why I can't though? But you know why? You know why?
I've got a 10 from Andy. A 10.
But I hear it. I hear people who gives a 10 or 8 because technically we signed the 2 players and we got done. But for me, I'm looking at the timings of the signing.
Before we lost on the weekend, weren't we like the most informed team in the league? One of.
Yeah, but imagine what we could do if we had the right players.
Yeah, but reality of the situation is you're getting the players that the manager asked for, plus you're replacing Chalobah. Like,
but the manager was.
If you manage to achieve that,
was happy. The manager
did he see an upset today?
I don't know. I didn't see him. Did he? I don't know.
Please, you run this show, D. I think you should watch the press conference before you come on here.
No, but I can listen to him. I can listen to him. I don't need to see his face. Was he happy? I don't know.
He looked very handsome today. He looked handsome. He was in a good mood.
He looks handsome every single day to me.
He does.
I mean,
I hope he wears a roll neck. I hope he wears a roll neck on Sunday again.
And D,
there's nothing wrong. But I would give it technically. Yeah, go on.
Andy makes a great point here. Timings are not always under our control. I mean, you got to understand that. I mean, sometimes a player, again, this is a funny thing. A good example, like his John Duran situation with Ed Villa. They lost him at the last minute. They're not going to sell Watkins. They have to bring a striker in. It's like a domino effect. Dominoes happen. You know, something could happen late on Sunday night or Monday morning. All of a sudden now, a player falls into a lap. So you got to look at it. It's not always about what Palace want. It's got to be the player, the agent, the selling club, the loaning club. Again, the need. It can't always be. I
okay, but my point is not that. My point.
No. Your point again is going to be what Glasner said out loud. I get it.
Glasner said out loud. Look at the summer as well.
I get it.
And that's why I'm holding it in the accounts too. Yeah. So we can say agents fee this and that. That's fine. We signed Esse halfway through the window, so it's not like it's impossible to sign players early or halfway through the window. And the fact that we're approaching deadline day.
We did meet a release clause. We did meet a release clause over already. We paid above the release clause. If we paid above what Slavia.
But hold up. So you just proved my point. It can be done.
If you pay over the odds.
Hang on.
If you pay over
that, but if your manager wants it at a particular time, then you might have to pay over the odds.
And just paid over the odds.
But then D, based on just to follow up.
7 out of 10 is not a bad window.
Yeah, but D, following up to what Patrick was saying, right? It's not even about getting the player; it's about getting the right player. And sometimes to get that right player, you have to play the waiting game. That is what transfers have taught me a lot over the years. If you want the right player at the right time, you got to negotiate. You got to get agents patterned up. Certain clubs want to get in their replacement. You know, the fees. There's always games being played over fees and stuff like that. And it turns out he's the right player, and it's the one that the playing manager wants. Then we're nice.
AJ, D, Lou, Trevor Chalobah was never coming to Palace. Never coming to Palace. Real gets injured. He gets frozen out at Chelsea. All of a sudden, an opportunity comes. Yes, it didn't work out for us because they took him back, but that would never have happened had Riyad not been injured and he got frozen out at Chelsea. So that might happen again on Monday. Maybe something happens on Monday where a player falls into a lap. That's what happens sometimes. But you got to be patient. I'm like, but D, I get your frustration. I really do. But I'm at the point.
I'm not frustrated. I'm just.
What are you disappointed?
I'm
Of course, you're frustrated.
You sound frustrated.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. How am I frustrated? If I was frustrated, I wouldn't give it a 7 out of 10. Is not a bad window. Like, why do
You
I
said
have to give it a 9?
you said you got a
You definitely sound calm, B. That must be
Isn't
me.
10 out of 10
I don't know.
perfection?
You sound calm to me.
Isn't 10 out of 10 perfection? Hold up. Isn't 10 out of 10 perfection? So you
What's
lot think
him
this is
got-
a perfect window?
what's
That's
it-
fine.
What's him
What
being
difference?
from Peckham got to do with anything?
I have no idea what that. I just
Ask
put it
D,
up.
that's his burner.
I'm born a Tony, so I put it out. I don't know what the heck. I just
Number 1 out of 10 was 1 out of 10 was too high, man. Zero for Twisted.
And I agree with Lee there. What he say? What it happens every window, and that's why I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because that's a perfect window, and this is not a perfect
I'm gonna push back on that. Push back. This summer window, we didn't get the right players in, but we got Riyadh, Saar, and Kamada early doors. Do not tell me they didn't because they were on. Because we got them early doors. So
Riyadh and
you can
Kamada,
say have a big window.
all
right?
No. We didn't.
Saar
We didn't
came
get
in.
all 3
Saar
early
came in
doors.
during the US trip, and Riyadh was in.
Yeah. That's normal window, but for us, but that's the problem, Patrick. That's normal timing, but for Palace, that's considered early doors.
I'm just saying, but
halfway through
this
pre-season
comment,
play joining is normal, but that's the problem that we've had over the years that we think that's early doors. Riyadh and Kamada, 100%. But quickly, I want to bring up this comment from Stan, who said left wing back wasn't even a position 2 years ago. Left back has been a position more than anything, but Mitchell was still by himself there.
I think.
So
I've got
that's
one
what I'm
thing.
talking about.
We can go through. I think we can go through every team in the Premier League, and at least one position they've lacked.
You compare us to others. I'm not doing that. That's
Everton, West Ham. How long have West Ham needed a striker? Failed strikers all the time. Everton, failed strikers all the time. Newcastle. How long have Newcastle needed a right winger for? How long? There's so many different things. There's so many different clubs that have that, and then sometimes they get it right. Forest got it right randomly with Chris Wood.
I need to go. Sorry, I need to go.
Bye, buddy. All right. Thanks, D. Talk to you later, bud. So I got some questions. We're gonna go wrap up the stream. Thanks to everybody that participated. The first question from earlier on by Andy: does stressing over stuff you can't control change anything? My wife hates. I'm so calm about everything I can't control. Your thoughts?
Being in control of your emotions is an important thing. Do not let a football club that does not care about you. A football club is your community, is your friends who you go to football with, who you share moments with. The actual club as a business does not care about you. You are a consumer. They will sell your season ticket to someone else. Yeah. What a football club is your community and the people you go with, the people who you grew up with, and football in general. So don't let the fact that we haven't signed left wing back cover in a few years make you get up and tweet.
I agree.
5 different threads and abuse Parish. Yeah, we're all here for the same reason. We love this club. We love Palace. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah, Andy, great question. Thanks for that. And Animal, end with you. Would we have Chalobah if we offered it to take it or leave $25 million back in the summer? I don't think we would have gotten him at that. But what are your thoughts, AJ, on Chalobah back in the summer?
Yes,
should we bought him back then?
I would have bought him if the money was correct.
Take it or leave it. Okay, got you. All right. Because remember, they valued him at about 40 million though.
So context of it is Chelsea have turned around to us and said, boom, here's Chalobah. As long as it wouldn't have interrupted any of the other players, then yeah, 100%.
Fair. And you, Lou, what are your thoughts on Chalobah? Should we bought him in the summer, or is it already gone? That's gone. Don't worry about it.
No, delete Chelsea's number, man. I'm done with him.
I'm with you on that.
I'm
with you on that. Anyway, that's a long stream talking about just the press conference, but it was fun. I enjoyed that. Anyway, thanks to everyone that jumped on today. It was great. AJ, Lou, appreciate you jumping on. D in the background, appreciate you jumping on. We'll be back. Well, first I'll say there's definitely a preview show out. Check that out with me, Lou, and D. I just saw today D dropped the opposition preview with Saeed from Saeed TV. It's very funny, very interesting. Check that out. We'll be back on Sunday for a post-match reaction. Go ahead.
No, we got I think me and D got the live. We're doing a live watch along.
Oh, go ahead.
For the Man United game. Me and D. If we sort out our Nord
TV.
If we got the Nord VPN, we won't mention them till they send us some bread. But yeah, 2:00. Me and D.
Gotta check that out, and we'll have match reaction after, and then we'll Lou and I will be doing the play ratings. So we'll see everybody on Sunday. Have a great weekend.
And then deadline day stream.
Oh my God, you're right. And of course, when we sign the left wing back on Monday and the center back on loan, we'll be back live on Monday doing the stream. Everyone have a great weekend. See you guys soon, and up the Palace.